Good morning. It's Saturday, June 6th, and it's a gorgeous day. It's beautiful out. Just taking Puppy back from the park. Gonna run and grab some McDonald's on my way home. I love me some sausage egg McMuffin. Not sponsored, by the way. Just wanted to talk briefly about what's going on with these silly little riots going on in the United States and hell in UK and in Canada as well. I was driving home one day and saw somebody, shortly after the protest started, somebody had painted BLM on a electrical box or cable box, you know, standing up on the side of the road. And I'm like, really? Canada does not really have a history akin to the United States. We didn't have slavery here like they did in the United States. There aren't a disproportionate number of black people being brutalized by police in Canada. Now, that being said, there really isn't even in the United States, but for whatever reason, this is the narrative. But the thing that's really irked me about this whole thing is watching white people, to invoke Jared Diamond, I think his name is, watching white people do their darndest to virtue signal at this time. I had a colleague at work, everybody's working from home, made a post to that effect in the water cooler chat. Nobody wanted to touch it with a 10-foot pole. He was just, basically supplicating himself, saying, "I'm so sorry. I can't imagine what it's like to be a person of color," and all this stuff. But the worst is seeing these people get down and, bow their heads and kneel and apologize for being white to activist groups. What's starkly strange about it is that just a few years ago, I think it was in 2016 or 2017, there was a pro-Trump rally somewhere, I think in Washington D.C., maybe it was in Texas, but Black Lives Matter showed up, and the people who were organizing the Trump event, they had a stage set up and everything, and they invited Black Lives Matter up on stage. They invited somebody to come up and speak. Because I guess there was a little bit of a back and forth between the Black Lives Matter who showed up and the Trump supporters who showed up. They were basically getting into a war of words amongst the crowd. The Black Lives Matter got up and said, "Look, we don't hate cops, we hate bad cops." Everybody in the audience is cheering. We don't hate white people. That kind of thing. He's basically talking for, we want justice for everyone. This isn't about, black supremacy. This isn't about, whites being made to feel guilty or anything like that. And people were cheering, right? People were saying, yeah, we agree with that 100%. And now fast forward to 2020, and the exact opposite is true. Black Lives Matter activists are getting crowds of white people to get on their hands and knees and bow and apologize for being white. There was a guy on Twitter who posted, I don't know who it is, I'll see if I can find the tweet, maybe I'll link it. But there's a guy on Twitter who posted something to the effect of, in a few weeks we're going to see a spike in coronavirus cases. When that happens, don't blame the protesters, blame racism. As if the people who are protesting and deciding to get together in groups don't have any agency at all, don't have the faculty to make the decision of whether or not it's safe to go and gather in large groups. Like, they don't have any control over their behavior. And what's also starkly strange and funny, it's not strange, it's predictable, is a few weeks back, there were people protesting outside the State House in Michigan, saying, open the economy back up, and people were calling them terrorists because a bunch of people showed up with guns. which was meant to be a symbolic, right? Meant to be a symbol of, look, we're pissed off, we need our economy back open, and we're gonna come here and make our presence known. And it isn't simply about us, you know, holding up signs and placards. We've got our guns. If you don't do what the people want, this image should let you realize that we're serious about this, right? There were no riots, there were no looting, there was no destruction, it was a peaceful protest, And the media called them terrorists and saying they're gonna get grandma killed and all this sort of stuff. Fast forward several weeks and George Floyd gets killed, and everybody is on board saying the way he was treated and the treatment by the cop Chauvin that resulted in his death, that should be condemned completely. Everybody agreed with that, and then they started protesting, fine, and then Antifa and other ne'er-do-wells infiltrated the protests and started wreaking havoc, causing arson, property destruction, assaults. I mean, if you have any doubt that the rioting and the looting is the responsibility of the Antifa group and the other agitators, just watch Tim Pool. He's been covering this pretty thoroughly. But the protesters, the people gathering in large groups, not social distancing, they're being hailed by the government, they're being hailed by the media, and, you know, being told that they're running in stave, you know? And it's like COVID-19 never happened. This is the new paradigm. It's pretty awful. And then, you know, you got guys like Don Lemon calling out the president saying, say something, say something. And when he says we're gonna, you know, crack down on the violent people and the destructive people, we're gonna have the rule of law, right? You idiot. Rule of law, he's tweeting out, right? Don Lemon says, oh, shut up, nobody wants to hear from you right now. It's funny. You know what I wish Donald Trump would do? I wish he'd make a statement to the effect of, and maybe he has and I just haven't heard it, I wish he'd make a statement to the effect of, you know, there's people out there protesting and they're all very fine people. Really throw the words back at the media who claimed that he called white supremacists and KKK very fine people, which he didn't, of course, after the Charlottesville tragedy. Anyway. Yeah, that'd be funny if you just called them very fine people. Protesters are very fine people, but there's a few people out there that are causing trouble, and Antifa is key among them and wants to declare them a domestic terrorist organization. Well, and there's arguments for and against that, I suppose, but the whole bit is that he's calling them out, and the media runs cover and carries water for them, and that's what's really disturbing to me. You know, Sticks, Hex, and Hammer and a couple of other YouTubers have made a prediction that this rioting, this looting and everything, this is only going to help Trump get reelected. I don't know what the left is thinking in terms of putting this out there. Anyway, I'm about to pull up to the drive-thru. I don't want to make a video while I'm ordering food, so I'm going to call it at that. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. You guys take care and have yourselves a great weekend.